And welcome back. This is another video, and yeah, so last time we learned about Dehya's past, her family, well, but especially her dad, to be specific, and then the mercenary guild that she's a part of. And now we're going to investigate more about her father's mercenary guild and the inner power struggle according to the other members of Dehya's guild. The flaming beast, was it? Something like that. What am I doing? I must teleport. So yeah, this is the next video after investigating and learning more about Dehya. But now we're going to investigate further and learn more about Dehya's past. Let's go.
This should be the place.
Ooh.
Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
It's nighttime and then it's morning now, by the way. Okay. Find a space to hide.
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another.
Okay.
So let's all be careful.
I'm ready.
No need to worry. She knows her way around a fight.
Yes, and Paimon just floating around, flying around. Basically, the traveler's coach. Like, you know, like in combat sports. Paimon's the trainer and coach, anyway.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy.
Makes sense.
After all, we still need to get information out of them.
To question them, you need to be conscious, at least able to speak. Yes. Oh.
Here they come. You ready?
Yes.
Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Yes. Let's go. Oh, we're going to. Oh, it's an all tall lady team. Anyway,
That's close enough.
I don't have Dehya, so let's try her out.
Where do you think you're?
Game's up. Fun is over. Right now. Emerge. Right now.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll be back. You want this one?
Okay. Talk to Satar. Where? Oh. Probably hiding as well. Oh, wait.
You're the Flame Mane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right. Time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
I'm predicting Dehya will strike the guy or something. You know, basic questioning techniques, I guess. Or no,
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation.
or that
Think
thing
about
worked
it though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
Threat.
You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
It's alright, Paimon. She knows what she's doing. It's alright, Paimon.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way.
The
2
former or the latter?
seconds.
Oh,
I'll save you the trouble.
what?
Huh? Are you crazy?
Ooh.
He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
Oh no, oh no. With this emergency treatment, the bleeding in Satar's mouth is brought under control.
I
Okay.
definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Yeah.
But why would he be so extreme?
Well,
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them.
But yeah, he's willing to really keep the secret of his employer, of his mercenary guild.
I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yes, good question,
Yeah,
Tama.
don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
Yes.
There are lots of goods
Good
around
idea.
here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something.
Yes, let's find some clues in the creek.
I'm really sorry.
And yeah, let's find some clues. Oh, Satar. He's just sleeping near rock. Satar is not gravely injured and will probably wake up soon. It should be okay to leave him here for a little while. Okay. Let's search this. Examine the boxes. There are some weapons in the boxes, as well as a bunch of medicine and bandages. It seems like... Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this, so forgive me. Nakan al-Hakma is really up to no good. Okay. This one, the transport carriage. There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy. Okay. How about these bags, backpacks, sacks? I mean. Ooh. It's a bag.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions.
Yes, good thinking.
Yep, I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
What are those names, I wonder?
All
who
familiar
are these
names.
people? Oh, okay.
Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well.
So, I'm sorry, but whenever I hear and see the term canned knowledge, I can't help but think about canned tuna or preserved food.
This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain.
Anyway,
Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person.
okay.
That person will then pack the caravan full of
I can see a
necessary
mushroom.
goods,
Anyway.
which will then be brought right back to Dakana
It's-
Lakmar.
Shiny in the background.
Wait, why is there no mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amounts just happen to cancel each other out. Each other out.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all?
Right, it is.
Anyway, the
Right.
next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries.
Everything was probably
Everything
sourced
was
from the
probably
rainforest.
sourced from the rainforest.
Oh,
Huh?
what is it?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani?
Homayani?
Oh,
You mean Dunyarzad's family?
dun dun dun.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family.
Okay,
Just what the heck is going on here?
calm down, Dehya. Let's analyze the situation first. This one, calm down. I think. This
I'm
one.
sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found
Yes.
and not jump to conclusions just yet.
Yes.
But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakana?
Well, that is a possibility.
That's a
Paimon.
possibility.
Oh,
but
see?
if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebot or Port Ormos.
If forgive me again. If Shazaman was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time. This one.
Yeah, funding violence and looting.
Uh-huh.
The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
Okay.
I honestly have no idea.
Well,
I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar.
yes.
Maybe they borrowed a lot
Medical
of Mora in the past,
bills.
but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either. Yes, you're right.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
Unless.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this.
Yes.
I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis.
Okay.
Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support.
Okay.
If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper,
But also,
follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akmar.
Well, it is morning now.
Yeah. Are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
Makes sense, Paimon.
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed
True.
genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her then.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Let's go. Wait, where's... Oh, he's still there. Satar. Okay. Talk to... go back to Sumeru City. Over here. Teleport. Elements. Dealing elemental damage generates energy-rich elemental particles and orbs. Collect them to store energy for characters in your party. Let's go. Glide. Oh, that's Dunyarzad. I think that's an inn, if I remember correctly.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we are still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
Strange indeed.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
Especially Paimon.
On any other day, Paimon would have already
Paimon.
waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!"
Right, yes. Paimon's like that. I mean, she is the spokesperson for the Traveler. Anyway.
So tell me, what happened?
Uh-oh. Well...
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Sure. Dehya manages to explain the results of the investigation to Dunyarzad.
My father... has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yes.
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
Yes. That feels unlikely though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Blazing Beast.
Maybe
There
the
you
Corps
go.
of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
Okay.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
It's a trap. I
No,
guess?
no, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has
Yes,
no control over my life
life
anymore.
Okay.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
Yes, that is possible. Scheming
So,
and
the
all.
Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
Yes.
But is that really the right thing to do?
Yeah.
My father has committed
question.
many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Yeah. There's that.
It's alright, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust. Built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dehya.
Yes.
Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well. If your trust is one.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Okay, sure.
Usual place?
Where?
Oh, right.
Bukan Bazaar? Usual place. Where is that? Where is that exactly? Ah, here. Just outside. Just outside. it's nearby. There we go. It's a restaurant.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these
We're
two.
gonna be talking
This is the
outside.
traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
Yes, there we go.
There's something
Here
on
we
this
go.
record that we're all pretty curious about.
Dehya explains the issue to Shahzaman and admits her doubts to him.
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of
They're
course,
in cahoots.
you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow.
Okay.
I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
Okay.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
Ooh,
Our family
flashback.
once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. All seemed lost. A group of passerby Eremites lent us their
And then
support.
I'm sure that's
Those
her father.
Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Okay.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father.
Okay.
To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
But that's Shahzaman's point of view, but and then we already know Dehya's point of view. But I don't know. We'll have to learn more, I guess.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again.
Ooh, it's just-
I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all.
Doubt.
He then
doubt.
suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyazad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar.
Ah.
There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
Ah,
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
there we go.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life.
Okay.
If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous
Ooh.
life behind.
So it's a
And
plan.
that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
It's a plan.
Yes, but not just because of
been
that. From the moment that he asked me for that
influencing
favor,
her,
I
even when
also
she
began to
broke away
see
from her
Dehya as
father.
my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and me all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago.
Okay.
The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dakana Al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
Okay.
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things.
Okay.
But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that time, by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to.
Okay.
After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made
You can see
me
his hand
feel least
just-
guilty
Anyway.
about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now.
Uh-oh.
None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all of this. Can you try to believe in him just one more time? Maybe this one.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do
You
have a point.
Okay.
We haven't uncovered the whole truth
Truth
yet.
yet.
We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
Okay.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone.
Nice.
I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30.
Okay.
He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Ahmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Okay.
Understood.
Night
Thank you,
encounters.
sir. Then I guess this is bye for now.
Unless there's
I'll
more
stay
information.
and be with my father here.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the core of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Okay. What's next? Go look for... Yeah, outside the tavern at night. Outside the tavern at night. At night. Well, before we go look for this guy in the tavern at night, we're gonna end right here, and yeah, see you in the next video. I don't want to prolong this already long video, and yeah, I'm gonna cut them, you know, part 1, part 2, that sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, enough with the with me babbling about, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye. Wait, I'm gonna switch. Okay, bye bye for real this time.